of Americans how to unlock government grants and benefits. Matt Lesco has spent over 4 decades uncovering ways for people to access funds they never knew were available. And he sold over 4 million books in the process. Now at 81, but he looks like he's 18, Matthew is still on a mission to help others through his platform, Lesco Help, where he's guiding a community of thousands towards the resources they need. Let's dive into the world of free money with the one, the only Matthew Lesco. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Where were you? You grew up watching me. I see you have gray hair. Holy shit! How old am I?
Yeah, man. When I saw you come up and reach out to the show, I was just like thrilled. I mean, I was just like, I always wanted to pick up the book. I'm probably going to do it after this. But if I could peel back the onion here a little bit, Matthew. Before we get into what you do, what you've done your whole life, from what I've seen, tell us how you got here. Are you from a family of entrepreneurs? Like, where does this come from?
Maybe in a way, I don't know. My grandparents were coal miners, immigrants in eastern Pennsylvania, came to work in the coal mines. My dad had a small little factory, made baby clothes. I worked in the factory, I remember, in 8th grade. Oh, I hated every second of it. And I knew I didn't want to work in a factory. And then after a while, I knew I hated bosses. And then the war was on, Vietnam, and I couldn't get into grad school, and I didn't want to get drafted and sleep in the jungles. So I joined the Navy. 3 years, 2 months, and 9 days. And that I actually never had more responsibility again for the rest of my life, tell you the truth. I'm a 2-bit huckster selling stuff, There I was driving billion-dollar ships around the South China Sea. I came back, got an MBA, and had a bunch of it was in computers back in the 70s. I even had a software company that failed. And it started from that. Failures is how you get anywhere.
Gosh, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah. Well, let's move into the what you do in terms of helping people, what you've done. Can you share some examples of the government programs
it's every
people
day.
might not know about?
Yeah, it's well, the example to me is perfectly. Look at Elon Musk. I mean, he got maybe about $38 billion from government programs, and you can't do, but you don't know, That's why, when Trump was sworn in, there were 3 billionaires behind him, because they know that's the best place to get money, is the government. And the rich people taught me that. After I failed in all my businesses, I was helping Fortune 500 companies get money to buy companies and sell them and stuff like that. And I didn't know anything about this stuff. And because I was hungry and wanted to get paid, I'd find stuff for them. And it just shocked me. And I said, why? And the rich people get this, and because they'll hire people, who would bust their ass to get it. But it's for everybody. That's what frustrated me. So after my first successful business, I said, I got to help the average person find out about this stuff. Not just the rich folks. They'll get it no matter what. They don't even need it. Now, especially now in our country, there's so much need. That half the people in this country can't afford an extra bill for $100. And because incomes have not gone up. For 90% of us, the wages have been virtually flat for 50 years. The rich people did very well, so we don't have to worry about them. And that's why, if wages, actually, they went up about 30% in the last 30 years, in the last 40 or 50 years. But prices went up 300%. So wages go up 30%, prices go up 300%, and you're behind that 8 ball every day. And that's what these programs are for you to not only get out of financial problems, but also to improve your life by starting your own business or getting the education or training you need to get ahead in life. And they're there, but they don't advertise. And the biggest issue I find is Google, because people go to Google for everything. And Google won't help you unless you have money. That's what it's there for. And we have 2 sections of our society. One is what I call capitalism, and everybody else does. And they think that's everything, but it's not. Capitalism is only 60%. And the other part is what I call our community. This is where people help people. We have a fire department. They don't get your credit card before you come. That's part of the community, helping people out. So we got thousands of programs like that. that help people out. They don't know. The fat cat's fine. Like, here's a brand new one for, lowering your utility bills. This is just started last year in 2023, and they gave out $8 billion for people to lower their utility bills. And the top 25% got 65% of the money, and the bottom 25% got only 1% of the money. So I would think the top 55, the top 25% doesn't have a problem with utility bills, like the bottom 25. So they don't apply. So that's my mission, to make sure people know about how to get them. You got to stay away from Google, because everyone there wants your money, and the marketing is so sophisticated. You don't stand a chance against these people. Either you get scammed or get something you could already get free, but you don't know about it. So that's my mission. I got about 10 years or more to do it. And I don't know what happens to the hair after it turns gray, but I'll see.
It looks great. Yeah. So you started all this though before Google? And
Yes.
Was it
Yeah.
even more difficult then, or was it actually easier to find
Well,
all of this stuff?
It goes, it became easier, but then it became worse as it became the public, where everybody was. So if the market's there, then you get the salesman, and they rule everything. Why is Google there now? Because people are giving them money to find people. They're not getting money from you and me. The people who buy in stuff, get money, and Google gets a percentage. That's why we're now, AI is perfect, because it only gives you real stuff, no advertising. And I worry about, as this grows, man, we're gonna be smart enough to figure out how to make a ton of dough out of it by selling things. Because now you can go to AI, so you can't go to Google and say, I need grants to pay my rent. You could do that in Google, but you'll get 200 million. And of the 200 million, most of them will be people that want to help you get the grants, or have something
Yeah.
to sell you because you're in trouble. If you go to AI and say that, and if you use these two words, nonprofit organizations and government offices, so you just put in, give me a listing of 100 grants in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from nonprofit and government offices to help me pay my rent. You'll get them, because they're there. There's that many there, and that's the only thing you get. You won't get 200 million other people that want to sell you something. But I worry in the future they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which AI do you like to go to for searching
Well,
for stuff like that?
I
Do you have a
use,
preference?
yeah, I've been using Chat GPT, and also Perplexity. Is that it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty good too. They just gave me a great list, a graph. Actually, I'll go to ChatGPT and say, okay, how many poor people we have in the country compared to every other country? Well, this gave me a chart showing in all the developed countries, America is #1 in poverty rate. We have more people percentage in poverty than any other developed, that's about 30, 35 countries. So we're #1 in poverty. And I went to Perplexity and asked about, okay, the last tax cut we had from Trump?
Yep.
Okay, who got the benefits from the last tax cut? Okay, and that cost us, in government money, about $1.5 trillion. Okay, so that's how much money it came from the Treasury to pay people for the taxes. And the top 10% got 50% of it. The next 10% got 13% of it or more. So it's really about 80% of that tax cut went to the top 20% of people. Yeah. So that's what I feel, that even, what they're doing now is trying to work on waste, fraud, and abuse. We have to do that. I mean, that's certainly a problem. Any large organization has that problem. But what I see the way it's done is just getting rid of people who tell you how to apply for grants. Because there's firing thousands and thousands. I mean, I live downtown Washington. I live in an apartment building, and we have a handful of people just lost their jobs overnight, working for an agency for 10, 15 years, doing what they thought was important work, and wake up one morning and it's gone. So what's going to happen now, the money will be there, the taxes, we give out an average, this year, everybody will receive an average of $18,000 in cash from the government. So that's $18,000. But you got to find out where it is and how to apply. The people you want to ask aren't going to be there if all these firings go through, and it's in the court system, and who knows when it's going to straighten out. And that's the problem. So to find those things, you have to go to other places and never go to Google. But you go to your elected official. You could call Washington right now, your elected official, and get to their office by calling 202-224-3121. Call them, you call 2 senators and a congressman. They work for you. They get this all the time. They do this. They have to do this because you're a constituent, and they want to do it because if they get you 20 grand from the government, you'll vote for that sucker no matter what they do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I'm glad you're sort of breaking it down and opening the door here about like, well, people, back in the day it was hard to find this stuff, and then it got a little easier, but now maybe it's even easier with AI, and you're talking about also reaching out to your local rep. What are some other misconceptions, though, about these government grants and financial aid that you think that the general public has?
Yeah, well, the biggest misconception is I need a grant writer. A lot of people, I want to get a grant, so they go to Google and get a grant writer, and that's stupid. But we don't know the difference, so we do things that are in our mind. To me, it's sort of like buying a prom dress before you're invited to the prom. You get invited to the prom first, then you go out. So find an application you want to apply for to see if you need it. Because most of them for individuals, to get up to 50 grand could be just 2-3 pages, fill in the blanks. That's it. You'll never need it. Yeah, there are occasions you may, but don't spend money on that first. The hardest thing is finding the right place to apply. So that's number one. Number two is don't use the internet at all, or rarely. You're not going to find what you need there. You'll find what you need really on the telephone. That cuts through everything. There's too much shit on the internet. No human being can tell, particularly if you're into a new area. How do you know? You don't know. And people are so good at words, man, you can't trust it. So there's a couple things you do. You go to, are you able to go online now, even off? I don't care if we see it or not. I want to show you a website.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
findhelp.org.
Findhelp.org. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Okay, now put in your zip code. Where do you live, by the way?
80501.
805.
So Longmont, Colorado. Yeah.
Okay, correct. 80501. Okay. So now you see a page there with a big number in the middle of it.
It says 2,431 programs are in the Longmont area.
That means there's 2,231 programs that give out free money and help where you live.
Gotcha. And there's no, that's there's no catch here, right?
No. This is good. Yeah, first of all, it's .org. So there's no catch in .org or .com. Not .com, .gov. So the only place you want to go is .gov or .org. They're the people who won't ask for money. Everybody else asks for money because they have to pay themselves or what. These people already got paid. Okay, so now you're there with 2,000 programs. Up in the left-hand corner, put in like rent. Rent. You need money for rent.
In the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, is there a little search bar there?
Yeah, rent.
Okay.
Sure, I just typed in rent.
What do you got there?
And then it comes up with a bunch of, let's see here.
Right. Can you tell how many?
A support network.
But look at the top. There should be a count up on top of that list somewhere.
Oh, 62.
62. So you have 62 places to apply to get free money to help you with rent. 62.
What about, one of my sons is a struggling artist, let's call him that. And I just typed in art, so I'm wondering if there's like...
Yes, put in art, you'll see what it is.
I've got 51 results for art.
So there's people that help artists right there.
Oh, wow. Martha Kate Thomas Fund for the Artists.
Right.
That's interesting.
Every one of them will give out money. Now, what you have to, the way you use this now is not like Google. Oh, you just fill out an application. No, you call them because you can't trust what they say and that you understand it, you know. I mean, people like me and my wife lived together 40 years, we still don't completely understand what the hell the other one's saying, you know. And,
Yeah.
and so what you have to do is call them, tell them what you need, and see if they can help you. And if they can't, ask them where else to get help. See, they're gonna know that. You're not gonna get that kind of intelligence even from AI. You know, that these people work in the business every day, you know, they see programs come and go, they help people like you every day, so they're gonna know the landscape of what it is. See, it's all like, in the military reconnaissance, you know, you send out a scout to see what's out there.
Mhm.
You just don't go shooting your ass off. You know, to
Whose
anybody.
whose website is this? Is this your website, man?
No, it's a private website. It's a nonprofit website. There's
Yeah.
another one called 211.org. I wish I had it, but I couldn't afford to do this.
Okay. 211.org?
Yeah, that's the same thing. I don't like that because you could also call 211. And that's not good because you get an operator.
Interesting. Yeah.
And the operator, you know, we're looking at the 62 and guessing what's best for you. You really have to get the list of everybody in your area, and it's like getting a job, you know, not one, because one person doesn't hire everybody, and you can't rely on the operators. So you got to get the universe and start going through that universe yourself to really do the prospecting.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, let's talk about your help community. How does Lesco Help community work?
It'll work if you got $20. That's a subscription. And actually, I'm so proud of that because I used to do this for $2,000, $20,000. Rich people pay anything to get more money. But I wanted aiming at the people who couldn't afford that. The other people want to help. You could afford, you know, give me $2,000. You don't need the help. Fuck you. And so be able to do it for $20, and that's because of the internet now. I did all kinds of ways. Been doing it for 50 years, but now it's a community of now 15,000 people that help each other get this stuff. So it's not me. You know, how could you trust somebody dressed like a clown who says they're going to get you free money? So you talk to people that are like you, just got it, and they volunteer to help each other. So every day we have 3, 4, 5 hours of live members helping, you know, if you want to join the Zoom calls to get free help from people who just got the money and how they got it. Now, to me, you know, that's powerful in my mind. You know, so then I have to answer every question too. There's only so much I could do today, no matter how much I like it.
Yeah. I can't help but not do this interview and not ask about the question mark suit. How did it, tell me, I need to know the origin story. What does it represent? You're still rocking it. And as a matter of fact, you just it keeps evolving.
Right. Well, we have to keep growing, I think, or you die. It's like anything else. And so how do you keep growing? This is me inside. And after my 30s or so, when other things I was doing that never worked. You know, I was doing everything everybody told me, got the MBA, started the business, did it like everybody said. And I wasn't having fun, and there was failing. Oh, this is fucking nuts. This is not like a career. And so I said, now I'm going to do something that I'm sort of not really good at, and it's going to be real hard. I'll be miserable for maybe being successful in 30, 40 years. Man, and I see, boy, I tried 2, 3 times and it didn't work, so I'm not going to wait anymore. I got to have fun now. And that's when it changed, because then to have fun, you have to dig inside you. You can't find out other people's fun. Well, you can maybe get clues, but what we have special in us is special in us, not in anybody else. And that's why we go to other people, try to find the 7 lessons to success, and they're not for everybody. And that's why you'll fail at number 2 or 3, and then you'll give up, and you can't do that. But if your heart is in it and it comes from the inside, you'll get through that bad shit. Because if you're human, you gotta have bad shit happen. There's no way out of that. And to get through that, to be successful, It has to come from inside you and your heart has to be in it. That's why I do a little less hearts, a little less question marks and more hearts now. Because,
Oh, okay.
see, you could have the right answers or the right questions, but if your heart's not in it, ain't gonna happen.
What do you think if you could share maybe the most memorable experience in helping someone secure funding, as you have done, would love to hear that story.
It is, I mean, I get so many now, it's so wonderful. And even when I walk down the street, people come up there, boy, I got, $20,000 to be able to finish college. And they hug me out of fucking nowhere. And I didn't provide the money or anything. I mean, I did
Yeah.
nothing, and it's not me, it's because you live here in America. That's what I can't understand. And just to have that love, and actually I get older now, I think that's the only thing I could grow. I mean, men, I don't know about you, but me, growing up in the 50s and 60s, or whatever that was, men had to get smarter, stronger, faster, None of that shit is gonna get better. At 81, man, never gonna get faster, never. That's just a downhill road from now. But I can love harder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing you could do for the rest of your life, is love more. And that's what I try to do now more. Even saying the word, I couldn't even say the word a couple of years ago. I thought I had to marry you if I said that.
Yeah. I tell my business partner I love him almost once a day
Really
at this
good,
point,
that's
so
true.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so younger guys are like that. Well, I didn't grow up on that. I mean, my family, I don't think even said the word. I don't remember. We were nice to each other. There wasn't an issue, But yeah, it's just strange. But I see my sons are, half my age and see them saying the word. And even to me, oh boy, wow. That's nice. And so that's why, and that's what my work is. And I show other people that help, the joy of giving. I mean, people don't realize how selfish giving is. It feels so good.
Truly. Matt, you have been a fantastic guest. We're running up on the half hour here. Knowing what you know now, and if you go back in time to when you first started, what you do now, what you've done for most of your life, what is one piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
Your heart is smarter than your brain.
Matt, if people want to reach out to you, if they want to get in touch with you, if they want to look for these government assistance plans, they want to help with the funding, where can they follow you, and get in touch with you?
LescoHelp.com.
Beautiful. Matt, thanks so much for your time on the show today. It was an honor having you.
Love you. Say hello to your son.
Okay, will do.
Keep following his heart. Okay.
Yeah.
Recording stopped.
You're great.
Oh.